In this video, I will show you everything you need to learn in order to start, run and scale a profitable Google Ads campaign. Many online coaches sell the same information for hundreds of dollars, but I am giving it away all for free. So make sure you watch the video till the end. This is a complete A to Z guide, a step-by-step course covering everything for beginners. This video will include introduction to Google Ads, creating and setting up your Google Ads account, setting up billing and structuring your ad account like a professional, how to write killer ads, finding the right keywords, the heartbeat to your account. We'll be discussing a lot about quality score and how to get a higher ROI with lower ad spend. And lastly, we'll be discussing about the common mistakes that people make when they get started. This video is part of our free digital marketing mastery course where I show you how to become a pro digital marketer without spending thousands of dollars on paid courses. Make sure you click on the I button or the links in the description to watch our entire free course playlist on YouTube. We also launch 2 free courses every month on this channel, so make sure you subscribe to get courses worth thousands of dollars for free. We have timestamps for the entire video, so make sure you check the video description to jump over a particular section of the video. I know the video is long because I wanted to deliver as much value as possible, so you can bookmark the video and add it to your watch later list. As always, I along with my team have created multiple bonuses for you guys. These bonuses will include Google Ads worksheet, best performing ad copies, and campaign audit checklist. If you want access to all these bonuses, all you have to do is like the video, subscribe to our channel and comment with I want to learn Google Ads because. Once we reach 5,000 likes and comments, I will make the link to all these bonuses public in the video description. So without wasting any time, let's dive into our free Google Ads course. 10% of the ad revenue of this video goes towards feeding the needy. Check the link in the description for our Mission No Hunger. And the rest 90% of the revenue helps us to launch many more free courses for you lovely people. So kindly support us. So what are Google Ads? Well, Google Ads is an online advertising service which is developed by Google, where different advertisers pay money to show their ads on the entire Google ad network. It could be a keyword-based ad, it could be a video ad, it could be a display banner. So there are various kinds of ads. Now Google Ads come under SEM, which is search engine marketing. Now SEM is different from SEO. We already have a very comprehensive course on SEO. You can watch the entire course. The link is in the description. To give you a brief overview, what is the difference between SEM and SEO is, like if you search for Google Ads on Google, so this is the search result page. Here you can see on the left hand side, you'll find 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different ads. It's because they have the word ad here along with the listing. Again, another ad, another ad, another ad. And after 4 different results, you'll find our organic results. Here you'll find that the word ad is not attached to this listing. So it's an organic listing. And this listing is ranking here because of SEO, which is search engine optimization. One very common term you will find with SEM is PPC, which is pay per click. And if you end up clicking on any of the ad results here, then the advertisers that are running these ads, they will have to pay some amount to Google, and that amount is decided by Google. So if you click on the first result here, this landing page opens up. So this is the Google Ads landing page where you can sign up and get started with running your own ads. Now Google Ads come under intent-based ads, because if someone is searching for Google Ads, the person is actually looking for maybe running Google Ads or maybe knowing more about Google Ads. So the intent is associated with Google Ads. But when we talk about Facebook advertising, it's more about interest-based ads. We already have a comprehensive course on Facebook ads. The link is in the description and you can become a Facebook Ads Pro by watching that entire course as well. Let me show you some of the Facebook ads as well. So this is my Facebook timeline. Here you'll find a newsfeed ad, amazing tech crowdfunding projects you need to see. I know this is an ad because the word sponsored is written here. Now why Facebook is showing me a Kickstarter ad? Here you can see the link is directed to Kickstarter because I'm an active contributor to Kickstarter. I visit the website a lot. I have purchased a lot of product on Kickstarter. So Facebook knows that I have an interest in Kickstarter. Now I'm not actively searching on Facebook for Kickstarter related keywords, but Facebook knows that if I am shown a Kickstarter related ad, I am more likely to click on the ad, just because I have an interest in this particular website. This could be a retargeting ad as well. If Kickstarter has a retargeting pixel, then they know that I have visited their website and then they can retarget me on Facebook. If you don't know what retargeting means, then you can watch my entire Facebook ads course. Let's check a couple more ads. Here you can see Curiosity Stream is again running ads for me. As you can see, the word sponsored is written. Now I have never visited the website of Curiosity Stream, so I'm not sure what they are, but it says that they are better than Netflix. So maybe it's more like an alternative to Netflix. Now Facebook knows that I have interest in watching various web series, different documentaries, etc. So Curiosity Stream, the advertiser, when they are running the ads, they might have selected the interest and Facebook is showing me the ads. Now I have not actively searched for Curiosity Stream. So this is where the difference between an interest-based ad and an intent-based ad comes into play. Now, Google Ads is massive. As you can see here, in 2020, they made over $140 billion annually. So Google Ads is huge. Don't think that compared to Facebook ads or Instagram ads, Google Ads won't give you good results. Rather, it's a billion-dollar industry. If you look at the Facebook revenue, they generated over $86 billion of revenue in 2020. Now, some of you might ask, then why to pay Google to run ads when you can get your website listed here as number one? But honestly, if you have seen our SEO course, then you know that doing SEO is a very complicated job. It requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of patience, because even if you create a website today and you are targeting any keyword, let's say you are a guitar retailer and you are targeting a keyword like best acoustic guitar. Again, you can see there are some visual ads here, ads. And then here are the SEO results, which is the organic results. Now to get your website ranked here on the number 1 or the number 2 result, or even number 3 or number 4, it's extremely difficult and it takes a lot of time depending on the keyword difficulty. I have already covered all of this in our SEO course. You can watch that entire course to know more about that. But with Google AdWords, it becomes very easy to get your website ranked number 1 for the target keyword. For example, I have searched for the keyword CRM software. CRM is customer relationship management software. Here you can again see there are 3 different ads here. Now CRM software is a very competitive keyword and a lot of big brands are bidding for the same keyword because the lifetime value of a customer who's searching for a CRM software is very high. So companies are willing to spend a lot of money to acquire that customer. Now if we scroll down below, here are the organic listing. So the number 1 result is G2, which is the organic result. And the number 2 is Salesforce. Now Salesforce is ranking for CRM software, but if you scroll down, you'll see that Salesforce is also running ads for the same keyword. That shows that running ads is the sure shot way of driving customer to your landing page without even waiting for maybe months or even years to get your website ranked for the target keyword. According to the data, 30% people are likely to click on ads and 70% people are more likely to click on the organic results. But if you have just started your company or if you have just started your business, it could be a small business, it could be a lead generation business, whatever it is. If you don't have the time and the patience to create a website and to scale it up using SEO, which might take few months or years, then you can go for Google Ads, which will give you instant results. Especially if you watch this entire course till the end, you will know all the tips, tricks, and the tactics to use to get your ad on the number 1 place. Because even if you search for a keyword here, there are 3 different ads. So how will Google determine which ad should be placed number 1 and which ad should be placed number 2? I will be teaching you all of that in this course. So before going into how to create the ads, I'll just give you a brief overview. So this is the headline, the best in class CRM software, try Zendesk sell for free. Then this is the description. These are the different site links that Google offers. These are again site links, and this is the URL of the website. Now to sign up for Google Ads, you can go to ads.google.com directly, or you can search for Google Ads on Google and click on the first result. So this is the landing page of Google Ad. So click on Start Now. Now, if you already have a Gmail account, then you will be redirected to this window. If you don't have a Gmail account, then you can create one. You can search for Google Ads promotion, and if you scroll down through the ads and click on the first organic result here, US Google Ads coupon voucher. You know this is the official websites of Google. You can also check the SimilarWeb. 92 billion visitors. So that shows that this is the official website of Google. And Google is sometimes running different promotion campaigns. Like if you spend $150, then Google will give you a promotional balance of $150 extra. So this is available only for the US visitors. If you're just starting out and if you're low on budget, you can also use this promotional credit just to get that extra benefit out of Google Ads. I'm not sure the time you're seeing this video whether this will work or not, but you can try. So once you visit this particular page, now this is the Smart Campaign page, as you can see in the top here. Now this page is more suited for people who are absolute beginners with Google Ads. They don't know what to do. They don't have someone to teach you. They don't have someone like me who is teaching you the entire Google Ads course. So if you're just an absolute beginner, then this is more suited for you. But if you're watching this course, I'll be giving you a much better way to run Google Ads. So Smart Campaign is when you will be creating the campaign right now, but the better way is to create the campaign later. So you'll be seeing this message here. Are you a professional marketer? Switch to expert mode. So click on here. So these are the different campaign ideas. You can see select the goal that would make this campaign successful to you. So the campaign could be of different levels. So whenever you are running Google Ads, so there are 3 different levels that you have to follow. So first is the campaign level. Campaign level is where you select the goal of the campaign. It could be generation of leads. It could be driving website traffic. It could be app promotion. It could be brand consideration. It could be brand awareness. The goal is dependent on your marketing funnel.
and the objective that you want to achieve. And it depends on the type of business you're running. If you're selling a digital product like a PDF or a video course, or even if you're a SaaS business who are looking for free trials, then primarily you are looking for email IDs. Email IDs are the relevant people who might be interested in your product, service, or the offer. In that case, you are looking for a lead campaign as the goal. Similarly, if you're a new brand, let's say you are a new startup and you're looking for brand awareness, you want more and more people to know about your brand. In that case, you are looking for brand awareness and reach as the campaign goal. If you're running an offline store, then the campaign objective could be the number of people who visited the store. So there are different campaign goals. Then comes the ad group structure. Ad group structure is where you will be targeting the different keywords that you are running. Let's say you sell guitar online. Then any keyword that is related to selling the guitar and has a purchase intent, then that keyword becomes relevant for you. And once you have selected different keyword brackets, and then comes the ads. So the different ads that will be shown to the consumer when they will be clicking the ad, and then they will be redirected to your landing page or whatever the campaign goal objective is. It could be a phone call, it could be a visit to the store, etc. Understanding these layers is extremely important for you. So on the top, there is a Google Ads account, then there are different campaigns, then there are different ad groups, and then there are all the keywords and the ads associated with them. So let me first show you and make you comfortable with the Google Ads dashboard. So we'll be clicking on create an account without a campaign. So here you can see confirm your business information. This information will be used to create your account. So you can select your country, time zone, and currency and click on submit. So that's it. The setup is done. So let's click on explore your account. So this is the overview of your dashboard. This might be overwhelming for all the people who are just starting out with Google Ads, but don't be overwhelmed. It's fairly easy to understand. So all your settings and billing will be under this particular area, the access and security, the billing, etc., all the information. Now this is a very important area, tools and setting. Here you will find all the planning, all the shared library, the bulk actions, the measurement, and more tools. So if you want to find the right keywords, then you can go to Keyword Planner. You can also find bid strategies. You can also create rules. For the measurement, you can link your Google Analytics, conversion and attribution. And there's so much more. We will be going through a few of these options. On the homepage side, this is the date area where you want the statistics for. Just because this is a brand new account, you don't see any data here. Otherwise, you'll be welcomed with a lot of data for your campaign results, the number of clicks, number of impressions, number of conversions, etc. So this is the overview section. Then you have campaign section. You can create multiple campaigns here. Now the first step is to create a campaign. So click on new campaign. So there could be different objectives as I told you earlier. It could be sales, it could be lead generation, it could be driving traffic to your website, it could be promotion of your app. If you have an app, you can promote the app through Google Ads. And if you run a retail store, then you can use this particular campaign goal. Let's create a campaign without a goals guidance. So there are different kind of campaigns. So there's search campaign. So if you search for the keyword CRM software, so all the ads that are shown here on the Google search result page, these are the search campaign. When you are showing ads in the Google search result page for the target keywords. Then there are display ads. So what are display ads? Display ads are again interest-based targeting. They are not intent-based targeting. Let me give you an example. If you search for best acoustic guitar and open the first result, I've opened the website musicradar.com, which is ranking number 1 for the keyword best acoustic guitar. Here you'll find different display ads. Here is a display ad. As you can see here, this is a display ad. Another advertisement here for some feeling left out. So this is an ad for maybe some ad council. Belonging begins with US. Another display ad here. This is a QuickBooks ad. So it's accounting software. I'm a customer of QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks to do all my accounting. So this is a interest-based ad. I was not searching for QuickBooks. I did not search for a QuickBook related keyword, but just because Google knows that I have an interest in QuickBooks, they are showing me the ad here. So these are display ads, and you can run display ads using the display ads feature here. Then there are shopping ads. Then there are video ads. Now, since you are watching this video on YouTube, you must have encountered a few ads. If you're not a YouTube premium member, then you must have seen an ad before the start of this video or even in the middle of the video. So if you want to run your own video ads, you can do that using this option. Then there are app promotion ads, smart ads, local ads, discovery ads, and many more. 90% of the audience will be focusing on the search ads because search campaigns give you the best kind of audience because the people who are searching for a keyword, they have the right intent. So if someone is searching for buy guitar online, they have already made up their mind of buying a guitar. So fulfilling that intent is the right way to promote your company or the product you're offering. Yes, there are other alternatives like display ads, video ads, app marketing, smart, local discovery. But if you're just starting out, then starting with a search campaign is the best option. With video ads, it's a whole new world. In our upcoming free YouTube course, we will have a very comprehensive video on running YouTube ads, how to create the right kind of videos, what are the different factors that you have to look at while creating YouTube ads. But primarily, right now, we'll be only focusing on the search campaign. That's where every company starts with. So let's click on search ads. Now the kind of results you want to get from the campaign. If you're not sure about any option, you can always hover down to the question mark here, and this will give you a brief overview of the option that you have selected. So if you want the website visits or if you're looking for phone calls or app downloads, etc. So let's say you're an e-commerce brand, you have a Shopify store or you have a website where you're selling, let's say guitars.
Then you'll be focusing more on the website visits, your business website. So let's add a website name like guitarworld.com. Although I don't own this domain name, I just added it for the display purpose. I've just added it here just so that I can show you how Google Ads work. Click on continue. A basic tutorial from Google Ads. You can close it down if you want. Let's keep the campaign name as search campaign. Once you have named your campaign, scroll down. Let's come to the network section. Here you'll find that both of these options are automatically selected. You haven't selected them. If you're a beginner and you're just starting out, then I will recommend you guys to uncheck the options here. As you know, the display network is not intent-based ads, rather interest-based ads. So we will uncheck them right now. But yes, if you really want to scale your campaigns, if you have massive budget, then you can also select them. And search network is also not recommended if you're just starting out. And if you have low budget, I will recommend to uncheck them. You can know more about it by going to the question mark here. Let's go to more settings. Here, start and end dates. You have to be cautious with this. If you have a particular date in mind where you want the campaign to end, then select a date here. You can select a date. Otherwise, if you keep it ongoing, then your credit card will be charged again and again. Then you might end up spending more money than what you accounted for. So you can select an end date as well. Campaign URL options. So let's leave this. Dynamic search ad setting. Also again leave it. Ad schedule. This is again very important. If you want to run your ads for the entire day, that is 24 hours, then you can select all days and the entire timing. But if you want specific days or specific timing according to your time zone, then you can select that. Let's say if you want only Monday to Fridays or Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays, this depends on the kind of ads you're running. If you are an offline retailer, then you might be running ads for store visits. And if your store is closed on Sunday, then you don't want the ads to run. Also, especially if you're running a lead generation ads. Let's say if you're a travel booking website, but your customer care is not available on Wednesday, then you would want your lead generation ads to not work on Wednesday. Otherwise, customers will have to face a delay of 24 hours, which is not recommended. So depending on the goal of the business, you can run your ad schedule. The next important part, and rather a very important part, is the targeting an audience. The location is extremely important. Right now, the automatic selection is the all countries and territories, but this is not what you want. Let's say you are an online retailer who is selling guitars online to the customers of United States, that your logistic only allows United States, then you can select United States. Let's say you want Canada as well, then you can select United States and Canada. And if you want another specific location, then you can click on enter another location and select a location here. Let's say you're only targeting the California region, then you can search for California, United States. This will give you estimate reach, like 54 million reach. You can select for California. If you want to add more cities, more states, etc., you can do that here. Make sure you take this seriously. Otherwise, you'll end up wasting your ad budget to show ads to people who are not relevant to your product or services that you're offering. You can also select country, city, region, or even postal code if you are catering to a specific postal code. Let's say you are an offline retailer and you are targeting customer for a particular postal code, then you can do that here as well. This is another important option, location option. I usually recommend to click on presence, that the people who are actually present in the country are the people who are shown ads to. If you select presence or interest, then people who have an interest in a particular region like California, even those people will be shown ads to. But if you want only the people who are living in that particular region to be shown ads, then you select the presence. Exclude is pretty self-explanatory, people in the excluded location. Then comes the language. You can select the languages that you want to target. Then comes the audience. Audience manager is where you create multiple audiences. Talking about audience manager, you can access the audience manager option from clicking on tools section and clicking on audience manager. Now, audience manager is another very important area. If you're running multiple campaigns, then sooner or later you'll start driving more traffic. You'll have customers, you'll have leads. So you can create sub-segments of the traffic that you are driving. So let's say you drove 1,000 people to your website, and out of those 1,000 people, around 100 people end up purchasing. So you can create an audience segment of all the people who actually did the action of purchasing the product on your website. Similarly, you can also create an audience segment of those 900 people who did not purchase and remarket them. Remarketing is when you show the same audience different ads. As you can see here, we have the remarketing, we have custom audience, we have combined audience. So by adding the pixel to your website, you can create multiple audience segments. And this is very helpful in getting a better ROI of your campaigns. Because the people you'll be targeting here, they won't be cold audience. They have already interacted with your ads. They already know about the existence of your business. If you have seen our Facebook ads course, even there I have covered a lot about the creating custom audiences and why it is so important to scale the campaigns.
And this is also helpful in finding new people who are similar to the audience that you are targeting. So let's say if 100 people actually purchase the product that you're selling on your website, then you can find more people similar to the audience that you have created. And this is all done by Google algorithm. As you can see here, first you have to select the source. So if you click here on set up an audience source, you're directed here. And here you have to select the source. As I told you, you can set up the tag. Just like Facebook has Pixel, you can add the Google Ads tag to your website, or you can even connect your Google Analytics. Google Analytics also has a host of data about the traffic that you're generating. Similarly, if you're running video ads, then you can also connect your YouTube channel and remarket to all the people who have interacted with your ads. So let's say if 1,000 people clicked on your YouTube ad and only 10% took the action that you are promoting, then you can remarket. You can show a different ad to the 90% of the people who did not take the action by showing them a different ad. Audience Manager is very helpful in scaling the campaigns to find the similar audience who are taking the same action that you desire. Now comes the important part of budget. What should be the budget of your campaign? Let's say you select a budget of $10 per day. This does not mean that you will be spending $10 every day. Some days you might end up spending more than $10, but some days you might end up spending less than $10. But overall in a month, in a 30-day window, you will see that the average will be $10. $10 is the minimum I usually recommend for people who are starting Google Ads, because if you go for $1 or $2 or even $5 budget, then you won't be able to get many impressions or get many clicks. And if you don't get many clicks, then you won't be able to test your campaigns. So at least spend $10, but then again, this depends upon the kind of niche and the kind of keywords you are targeting. If you're targeting a keyword like CRM softwares, then the cost per click will be extremely high because this is a very competitive keyword. But if you're targeting a very general keyword where the advertiser competition is low, then the cost per click might be low and you might be able to drive more clicks. Now comes the bidding part. What do you want to focus on? So there are different options. There is conversion value, clicks, impression share, etc. I will be talking more about conversion later in the video. Conversion is when you have conversion tracking set up onto your website. Here you can see we have searched for best acoustic guitar. These are shopping ads. So if we click on the ad here, then the website is guitarcenter.com. So they're an online retailer of guitars. So if I end up purchasing a guitar here by adding it to my cart and ending up paying for the guitar and going to the checkout page and then going to the payment success page, then on the payment success page, they will have a conversion pixel. If you have seen my Facebook ads course, then you know they have different pixels. So with conversion pixel, whenever the page is loaded, that pixel gets loaded up and this will tell the campaign objective that the conversion has taken place, that the guitar has been purchased when someone clicked on the ad here. So that is when the conversion option will be available to you when you have the conversion pixel set up. We will be doing that later in the video. Right now we haven't set up the conversion pixel, so we'll focus more on the click side. So people who are searching for the target keywords, they can click on the result and then come to the website or wherever you are driving the people to. You can also click on set a maximum cost per click bid limit. This is the maximum you want to spend for a per click basis. So let's say I want to spend $2 maximum for every click. You can do this yourself as well, or you can also uncheck it and let Google decide the maximum cost per click. If you're just starting out, you can let Google give you a basic idea of the amount you will be paying for per click or per customer. Now, how much money you spend per click depends on many factors. Like if you search for CRM software, so all these people are running ads. All these people are spending money to get their ads shown for the target keyword CRM software. But how will Google decide which ads to show first and which ad to show now at the number 2 position and which ad to show at the number 3 position? So this depends on maximum bid, the amount of money that you are giving per click, the amount of the maximum cost per click that you have allowed. Then the second most important factor is the quality score. Quality score is a very, very important metric, especially if you're running Google Ads. Let's say if someone is searching for CRM software. The first ad is Zendesk.com. If you click on the ad here, let's check the landing page. So the landing page you will see boost sales team efficiency, close more deals. Zendesk Sell is a CRM software built to improve customer relationship and increase sales. Now, people who are searching for CRM softwares are usually looking for a software that can help them increase the sales and also to improve on their customer relationship. Now, Zendesk is a very popular company in the CRM space. You can see the website is very popular. They have 91 million visitors. It's a big brand. So if someone searches for CRM software, they click on the ad, they go to this landing page, they find, okay, this is a very good landing page. This is solving my purpose. This is solving my problem statement. So they end up scrolling through the page. They spend some time on this landing page. They add their email ID and they start their free trial. This shows Google that this landing page is very, very relevant to the people who are searching for the keyword and are running the ads. Now let's come to the second ad result here. 10 best CRM software. Just released 2021 reviews. If you come to this landing page, here you can see they have a review of different CRM softwares. This looks like an affiliate website.
Here you can see they have a beautiful looking table with a image, some description and visit site. These must be affiliate links. If you don't know what affiliate marketing is, then we have a very comprehensive playlist on affiliate marketing. The link is in the description. You can go and watch that as well. So according to Google, the quality score of people who are searching for the keyword CRM software and then going onto this particular landing page, top10.com, is lower than the quality score of Zendesk. Because people who are clicking on this first result, they are going on to this landing page, they know they are getting a CRM software. They enter their email ID, they like the page, they start their free trial. But this number 2 page is more like a review website. So the quality score might be a little lower than Zendesk.com. Then again, we have Monday.com. Monday.com is another project management tool. We have been using it. I think they are going into the CRM platform as well, creating the sales pipeline, contact management, lead capturing, all the common terms that are used in CRM industry. But let's say if you are a guitar retailer website, let's say you are guitarcenter.com. If you start running ads for a keyword like CRM software, then the people who are searching software are not looking for buying guitars, right? So if someone search for CRM software and your ads start showing here, okay, buy guitars at 30% off, then no one will be clicking on those ads, right? Because the intent of the customer is not to buy a guitar, but rather to get a CRM software. So in that case, your quality score will be 0 because the intent of the person who is searching for the keyword is not met. So that's where quality score comes into play. Now, quality score depends on many factors: how much time a person spends on your landing page, whether what you're offering in the headline here, is it actually offered here in the landing page as well, the branding of your landing page, the brand name of your landing page, how easy it is for the people to sign up, number of conversions you are getting, and many other factors. So the better the quality score of your website, the lower the amount you have to pay to Google. So that is why creating a good looking landing page, creating really good headlines of your ads is extremely important so that you can get a better position on Google search engine for your ads. Also, you pay less money to Google because you have to understand that Google is in the business of pleasing their audience. Google is in the business of giving the best search result possible. Not just in the organic results, which you can see below the ads, but also in the ad section. They don't want to show irrelevant ads to the people who are searching for a keyword. They want to show the best possible ads, and for that they are willing to take less money. Now, depending on the max bid, the quality score, Google gives you an ad rank. The higher your ad rank, the better you will be given the position in the Google search engine, and the lower will be your actual CPC, which is the cost per click. Now, I won't be going into the formula of calculating the ad rank, but what I have told you already, you have to make sure that the quality score of your landing page is high, the quality score of your campaign is high, and you make sure the ads you are creating are highly intent based and give benefit to the people who are searching for a keyword. Your expected click-through rate, your landing page experience, the ad relevancy are the primary factors which will define the quality. Now let's go to the next section. You can click on show more settings, conversions. Set up conversion tracking for your account to track the actions that matter to you. This is important. We haven't yet set up the conversion tracking. We have to add the pixel to our website to let Google know the conversion has taken place. We will be doing that later in the video. And then you have ad rotation. This will be done automatically by Google. You don't have to do it manually. So they will start showing more ads which are getting better performance compared to the ads that are not getting good performance. So let's say in a particular campaign, you create multiple ads under each ad set. Then you would want your best performing ads to be shown to the visitors, right? For that, Google would automatically do it itself. The option is automatically selected, optimize. But if you want the ads to be rotating indefinitely, if you don't want the best performing ads to be promoted up, then you can select the do not optimize. I usually select the optimize. Now comes the ad extension section. I have seen in many cases that people just don't use this option, and it's the easiest option to get a better click-through rate. So you have to understand that if people are searching for a keyword and if they end up clicking more on this particular ad compared to this particular ad, that gives Google a signal that the headline or the description or whatever this website has written about their product is much better compared to the second result or the third result. So that's a good indication for Google. But then again, you also have to understand if more people are clicking on this ad, they must also be converting on the landing page as well. If more people are clicking on the number 1 result, but they are not having a good experience on the landing page, but let's say less people are clicking on the second result, but they are having a very good experience on the landing page, that gives Google an indication that the landing page experience of number 2 result is much better than the number 1 result, and they will promote the number 2 result to the number 1 result. So CTR or the click-through rate is an important metric, but then again, you should also do the justice to the people who are clicking on a particular result to also give a very delightful experience on the landing page and to offer them exactly what they are looking for and to make it as easy as possible. That is where your quality score will also increase, your CTR will also increase, and then you will be getting the number 1 result in the SEM rankings, and also you'll be paying the least amount. Now to increase the CTR or the click-through rate of your ad, all you have to do is add as many site link extensions as possible. So there are call out extension, there is call extension, site link extension. There are different kinds of extension. If you click here, you can see there are structured snippet, app extension, lead form extension, many more. Even Google is telling you that you can get up to 15% higher click-through rate by showing additional information on your ad. Like here on the CRM software, these are the site link extension. Even on the search result page of CRM software, these are the call out extension or the structured snippet here. And these are the site link extension. You can add this extension here. Like for the site link extension, open this up. You can create a new site link extension, the text, the description, and the final URL. Similarly, text, description, and the final URL. Here you can see the text, the description, and the URL when I click on this link. So this is the site link extension. I will always recommend you guys to add the site link extension. Whether these extensions are shown or not depends on Google, but adding these extensions will always help you increase the CTR and will help you increase the quality score. Similarly, you can add call out extensions as well. You can add call extension and you can go through all these different extensions. So these were all the settings for the campaign objective here. Now let's click on save and continue. Now we come to the second layer. So a basic tutorial. Let's click on done, leave, got it. Now the second layer is the ad group. As you can see on the top layer, we had Google Ads account, then we had campaigns, then we have Google ad group, we have the ad groups, then we have the ads. We are already done with the campaign part. Now we are in the ad group state. Now this section is extremely important because this will decide the amount you'll be paying per click and the budget you are spending. Also, you really need to optimize the kind of keywords you are choosing, the ads you are making. These are extremely important so that your overall budget is as low as possible, but the performance you get, the conversions are high, and you get the maximum conversions for the least amount. Since we have selected the website guitarworld.com, Google has automatically pulled some keywords like Guitar World magazine, acoustic guitar, electric guitar. Looking at the basic terms of the website, they have already populated it. But let's say for this ad group name, if you see in the structure here, we have Google Ads account, then campaign, and then we have multiple ad groups. For the different ad group, you have to make sure the keyword you are targeting and the ads that you are showing are highly relevant. Because if there is a mismatch, then the quality score will dip and you will end up spending more money. So you have to make sure the keywords that you are selecting and the ads you are creating are highly coherent in nature. They go side by side. So people who are searching for the right keywords are delivered with the right ads and the quality score increases and you pay less amount for the same amount of conversions. So let's say for this ad group, we select acoustic guitars. Because guitars could be of multiple types. A guitar could be electric guitar, it could be acoustic guitar. There could be different kinds of guitars. So for this ad group, let's select only the acoustic guitars. So let's remove all the keywords which are not related to acoustic guitar. Right? So we have acoustic guitar. Now to add the keywords that you want to target, there are three different match types. So one is the broad match, the second is the phrase match, and then there is the exact match. Use different symbols to denote each of the match type. I found this really good image to show the different match types. So one is the exact match here. So if you add the brackets here, and if someone search for the, this keyword CRM software, if we add bracket CRM software, only if the keyword CRM software in this particular order without any extra keyword will be searched, only then the ad will be shown. So that's the exact match keyword. Then there is a phrase match. Phrase match keyword is when you have double quotes between the keyword. With double quotes, let's say if someone searches for best CRM software, right? Here the CRM software is not an exact match because CRM software is a part of a bigger query, best CRM software. So if the ad was an exact match keyword, then the ad won't be shown. In this particular scenario, since the ad is a phrase match, because we have added CRM software in double quotes, that means another word can be added to the query. Here the extra word is best. That means in this scenario as well, the ad will be shown for the phrase match. Like for the phrase match, woman's hat are a phrase and close variation of that phrase. Like buy a woman's hat. In this scenario, the ad will be shown because woman's hat is a phrase among the bigger query. Broad match is when you don't add any symbol like a double quote or a bracket. In this particular scenario, you can have CRM software in any particular case. You can only have CRM as a keyword. You can have software as a keyword. You can also have multiple words attached to the query. In all the cases, the ad will be shown. So I usually don't recommend broad match for people who are just starting out. Rather, we start with the exact match keywords because those gives the best result. Because if someone is searching for CRM, best CRM software, then your ad might have a better intent. Also, one big change is going to come in Google Ads. The broad match modifier will be merging with the phrase match. You can check this comprehensive article on Google Ads Help. In July 2021, both phrase and broad match modifier keywords will have the same updated phrase matching behavior for all the languages. So BMM is getting removed and rather an updated phrase match is getting introduced in July 2021. Google is trying to go more on the automation route. Google is focusing more on intent-based campaigns. The intent should be getting fulfilled. Google has explained this change by giving an example here. You can check the example here, the updated phrase match. Here the example they have taken is moving services NYC to Boston. So the phrase match keyword moving services NYC to Boston will continue to cover searches like affordable moving services NYC to Boston, and it will also cover searches that were only traditionally matched under BMM. For example, NYC corporate moving services to Boston. Now here the intent is moving from NYC to Boston. Earlier, ads would not have been shown for this BMM like NYC corporate moving searches to Boston because in phrase match, the order of the keywords also matter. But when we look at the intent of the keyword like moving services NYC to Boston, here the intent is to move from NYC to Boston. In affordable moving services NYC to Boston is again the intent is getting fulfilled and the extra is affordable moving. And here NYC corporate moving services to Boston, again the intent is to move from NYC to Boston, but here instead of affordable, it is more like corporate moving. So for the updated phrase match, word order continues to affect matching behavior. Like you can see here, if we remove the brackets here, on the right hand side, you will see we are getting 6 clicks per day and the cost will be around $10. Average CPC will be 1.61. But if we add the brackets, acoustic guitar, you will see low traffic expected because acoustic guitar in a phrase has a very wide variation of different keywords for which the ad can be shown. But if we add the brackets, then the ad will be shown only when someone searches for acoustic guitar. That reduces the search volume and hence the impressions that you will get will be much lower compared to a broad match or a phrase match. We'll have acoustic guitar in a exact match. Then we'll have acoustic guitar in a phrase match. Then we can also have like a broad match, acoustic plus guitar, etc. Now you must be wondering how to even find the right keywords that you should be targeting. Now Google gives you a tool for this. Go to Tools and Settings. Go to Keyword Planner, open in a new tab. So this is a keyword planner tool by Google itself. Here you'll be able to get a basic estimate of the amount that you will be spending per keyword, the competition level, the search volume, and related keywords. Let's say if we search for discover new keywords, our main keyword being acoustic guitar, the country selected being United States, and let's click on get results. Let's stretch it a bit. So for the acoustic guitar, the average monthly searches is being 100K to 1 million. And the competition is high. The top of the page bidding is $0.28 and it can go from low to high. The low being 0.28 and the high being $1.09. And these are all the related keywords that might be of interest to you. Like Fender acoustic guitar, best acoustic guitar, acoustic electric guitar, Gibson acoustic guitar. So if you know your industry well, then you might be able to understand the keywords in a much better way. Which keywords are relevant for you, which keywords have the buying intent similar to the intent that you are looking for. One thing I've already told you earlier, that having the right intent, showing the right keywords, and then showing the right landing page is the best way to get a high quality score. And that is the best way to get a better position in the Google search engine ranking. Now the amount that is being shown here, this does not mean that you'll be paying this amount only. The amount can vary, but generally it's within the range which is shown here. It might even be higher, it might even be lower depending on the competition that particular day. This way you can add all the keywords that you want to include. Like I have acoustic guitar, I have, let's say, add best acoustic guitar strings is not relevant because this is the intent here is of strings, not the guitar. Let's also add acoustic electric guitar. And here you can create a new ad group. Like let's add the acoustic guitar too. Let's create it. And that way another ad group will be created for you. Here we have selected the broad match. Let's also select the exact match. Let's find the relevant keywords. We have created an ad group. Then we can select whether we want the exact match or the phrase match or the broad match and add keywords to create plan. Then we can go on and create a plan like this. This is one way to find the right keywords for yourself, but there's a better way, a much better way that I use in my company myself. Instead of going through the competition, instead of looking for all the different keywords these people are targeting, their headline, their copy, their description, wouldn't it make your job much easier? Because you will know exactly what your competition is running ads on, the different kinds of ad they are running, be it display ad, be it SEM ad, the different headlines, the different description, the different site links, etc. You'll also be able to find all the landing pages of all your competition. Would you like to know how to do that? Because this is a very manual way. You'll have to search for different keywords. You'll have to look at all the landing pages. You'll have to check all the different ad copies. Also, the probability of seeing all the ad copies is not that high. Let's say Zendesk is running 50 different variations of their ad for the CRM software. But here you will only see a single ad copy. But if you want to see all the different ad copies Zendesk is running, there's no way you can do that. But I'll tell you a way how to find all the ad copies of your competition. So for that, go to our website marketersfeed.com, go to the My Tools section, scroll down and you'll find this tool SEMrush. If you have seen our SEO course, then you know that SEMrush is one of the best SEO tool out there. It's a vital tool for any digital marketer or anyone who's running an online business. SEMrush is a must. Now I must also tell you, apart from being an awesome SEO tool, this is an extremely amazing and extremely important tool for anyone who's running paid media campaigns. So if you want a free trial, click on the link here. So this is an affiliate link. You'll be redirected to this landing page. You can start your free trial. I already have a SEMrush account, so I'll be logging into my account. So once you are logged into SEMrush, go to the advertising section, go to domain overview, and here you can enter the domain name of any of your competitor. Now we know in the CRM space, Salesforce is a very, very big player. So we have added salesforce.com and clicked on search. And in the domain overview section, there's a section called paid search traffic. Let's click on that. We'll come into the advertising research section here. And this gives an estimate of all the keywords for which this website is running ads. So salesforce.com is running ads for 3,500 keywords. And the traffic being driven from these keywords is approximately 117,000 per month. And the cost of this traffic, the amount that Salesforce is approximately spending to drive this traffic, is $1.1 million per month. If you scroll down, these are all the different keywords for which Salesforce is running ads. I'll give you a brief of all the options. So these are the ads. These are the different keywords. Salesforce, Quip, customer service. For all these keywords, Salesforce is running ads. This is the position. Whenever we search for a keyword, these are the different positions the ads are shown. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So for Salesforce, the ad is being shown on the number 1 position. But for CRM, if we search for CRM, then Salesforce ad is shown in the number 3 position, not on the number 1 position. Now this is not exact data because this is not real time updated. I think this is updated once or twice a day or maybe once a week. Depends on the plan that you have taken of SEMrush. A higher plan, I think the refresh rate is much higher. Then the volume of the keyword. So Salesforce is searched for 673,000 times. Like CRM software is searched for 27,100 times per month. So this is the cost per click, which is the approximate amount that Salesforce has to pay for if someone searches for a keyword and then clicks on the Google search listing. So if someone searches for CRM software and clicks on their listing, then Salesforce has to give approximately $10 to Google. As I told you earlier that CRM software is a expensive tool and the CPC is much higher compared to maybe a guitar or a dog food if you're selling. So this is the approximate traffic that Salesforce is driving through these ads and the cost that they are giving for all the keywords. You must be wondering that this is fine, but I also need to see the ad copies. So for that, you can go to ad copies here. And this will give you a list of all the ad copies that Salesforce is running. The headline, the URL where Salesforce is driving, and the description. Now imagine you had to write all these ads yourself. But if you have a list of all the ads that your competitor is running, then it becomes very easy for you to take inspiration, understand the good things about all the ads. There are many things that you need to understand before writing the ad copies. Like here you can see the world's number 1 CRM platform. So this is very good copywriting. Every customer wants the best software for themselves. No one wants the number 2. So telling the customer that they are the number 1 option for the CRM platform. So it's a very good copywriting text. You always want to give the best benefits in your sales copy. So whatever the headline you have, whatever the description you have to always give the best of the best benefits in your description so that more and more people click on it and more people sign on it. You can also find all the keywords for this particular ad is being run. Like Tailhead Playground, there must be something like Salesforce Coast Catalog. For this, you have different keywords. You also have the position, etc. You can also search for product title. Like if I search for CRM, then I have all the ad copies which has CRM. So this makes your job much easier. You also have ad history, position changes, position, etc. Similarly, if you want to see all the ads that Guitar Center is running, let's go to, instead of Salesforce, let's search for Guitar Center. Let's go to domain overview. Here we can see the paid search traffic is 122,000. So they are running ads. Let's click on this. Since SEMrush is a very heavy software, so it might take a little time to load. So they are running ads for 771 different keywords. The traffic being driven is 112,000 and the traffic cost is around 65,000 per month. So they are running ads for their brand name, Guitar Center Near Me, Guitar Center Hours, Guitar Center Coupon, studio monitors, they are running ads. So let's say if you are selling studio monitors, Then Studio Monitor has a search volume of 22,000 and Guitar Center is being shown number 1 for the Studio Monitors. If we check the Studio Monitors ad history, then you can see all these players are running ads for this keyword. Sweetwaters, Mackie, IDJ Now. So you have a list of all the competitors. So this way you also have a list of all the competitors who are running ads. And this also gives you for which month, which player is running the ads. Like for February, Sweetwater was running ads. In September, Amazon was running ads. Let's click on the number 3 here. And this way you'll also be able to find the ad copy like Shop 5 Studio Monitor, Amazon, free 2-day shipping with Prime. So this is the ad copy. So using SEMrush will make your whole job of creating a Google ad, understanding the competitors, understanding the ad copy, the quality score will become much more easier. But SEMrush is a paid tool. If you don't want to spend money, you can go the manual process as well. You can use the free keyword planner of Google and create the ads yourself. So this was it about ad group. I have added just a few keywords, not all of them. You can also create multiple ad groups by clicking here. We are only creating a single ad group. Click on save and continue. Now here comes the base of your ads. How your ads will look, the title, the description, the site links, everything will be created here. So this is the display URL. This is not the exact URL where people will be driven to. This is a show URL. Let's say you are selling acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar. As you can see the preview of the ad here, you should always look at the preview, how the ad is being shown, and also make sure that you check the preview both on the mobile and the desktop because both are extremely important. Although I must tell you that the mobile traffic has surpassed the desktop traffic. So approximately 70 or 80% of the traffic is coming from mobile on the internet and the rest is coming from desktop and tablets. On a side note, guys, also subscribe to my podcast, Marketers Feed, which brings you daily actionable digital marketing and online business lessons that I have learned and experienced over 8 years of being in this field. I know your time is valuable, hence the episodes are filled with value and also short, just under 10 minutes for easy consumption. Subscribe now, the link is in the description. Now let's go back to the video. So this is one of the Google Ads account that we were using earlier to run ads to. So this is how your dashboard will look once you start running ads. Here is the time selected. So I have selected the lifetime account. I created the account in 2018. So the account is in Indian INR. So this account was used to run ads in India. So approximately $10,000 was spent and 6.75 million impressions were made and around 220,000 clicks were made. And the CTR was approximately 3.39%. So you can change the date range here. You can go for yesterday, 7 days, 30 days, all time, etc. You can select the date range. All of the metrics here are shown in the graph here. You can disable any of the graph here, like if you only want to see the impression or if you want all the graphs. We were running this campaign for the Indian business. These are all the different keywords we were targeting. Digital marketing, online digital marketing. We were also running some ads for a business here in India, which was into gaming PC building. So that's why you find some keywords in the PC builder, gaming PC builder, etc. The cost, the clicks, the CTR, everything is customizable. These are all the different searches people were making. Gaming PC, build your own PC, gaming keywords, etc. What is digital marketing? The remaining balance in our account. So this is approximately $20,000 that is already in the account and still to run. So most shown search ad, the video ads that we were running, the cost, impression ad, etc. So all these metrics will be available to you on your dashboard once you start running ads. Then you also have devices, the distribution of traffic from mobile phones, tablets, computer, etc. You see that 70% of the traffic is coming from mobile phone. And the rest is coming from desktop and tablets, a very few percent, only 1 to 2%. Then you can also get the gender and age. You have different brackets of age, like 35 to 44, and also the distribution among male and female. This is another very important metric. You should always know your audience, whom you are running ads to. So let's say if you are selling a guitar and you find out that 80% of your audience is male, and you'll be able to create the targeting, create the copy, create the ads in such a way that the coherence is maintained and you can get a higher quality score. Then you have multiple campaigns here, video campaign, display campaign, search campaigns, ad groups, then the ads that were shown, then the videos, different landing pages, audience, keywords, demographic, etc. Once you start running your ads, it will become very easy for you. This might be a little more complicated right now because if you're just starting out with Google Ads, I have already shared a lot of knowledge with you in this video up till now. I wanted to show you how to create ads in the most effective way possible. So I have created a new campaign here. The campaign for my free digital marketing course, the course that I'm creating right now. So let's say I'm driving the traffic to my website, marketersfeed.com. Learn digital marketing for free. People can click here and go to my YouTube playlist. So I have my URL as marketersfeed.com and I have used keyword ideas and the keyword planner along with SEMrush to find some relevant keywords for myself.
I have the budget to be $100 per day because marketing is a very competitive niche. So the CPM and the average CPC is very high. You can see even for $100 per day, I'm only driving around 5 clicks per day. For this campaign, I have the ad group name as DM, which is digital marketing. Let's change this to phrase because we are targeting phrase match keywords. I'm not creating multiple ad groups here because this video is just for the show purpose. I'm creating only a single ad group. Let's click on save and continue. And now this is the area where we'll be creating multiple ads. So for our ad set DM phrase, these are the different areas that we have to fill. So this is the final URL, the URL where you want the people to drive. So you can see I'm driving the visitors to my homepage, marketers feed. Display path is again very important. And whatever changes you make in the left-hand side, you'll be able to preview it in the right-hand side here. This is updated real time. And you can also see how the ad will look like on the mobile or the desktop. Around 60 to 70% of the traffic will be coming from mobile if you're targeting a very general niche. This again depends upon the kind of traffic you're targeting. But mostly you will drive more traffic on mobile. Google is also giving you some recommendation in terms of your ad strength, adding more headlines, adding more popular keywords, making your headline more unique. These are all the recommendations Google is giving in order to increase the quality score so that your ad is more relevant, optimized in such a way that you are able to drive more and more people in the least amount of money being spent and getting the highest conversion ROI. So let's say for the display path, I want to show marketers feed free course because this is a free digital marketing course. You can add multiple headlines. Whatever URL you select, this is how the URL will look on the right hand side. You can see the ad preview. You can also pause it if you don't want it to change. Now comes the headline part. I'm only adding one URL. You can add multiple URLs if you want. Because I want to stress more on the free course part because people are charging hundreds and thousands of dollars for these digital marketing courses. So if I'm giving everything for free, then the CTR on my ad will increase. And also what I'm delivering on the landing page is actually what I'm offering. And hence the quality score will also increase. These are the various headlines you can add. I will recommend you guys to create multiple headlines and not just keep a single headline because Google will rotate all these headlines and will try to find the headline that is working the best and giving you the highest ROI. So let's say our first headline would be learn digital marketing for free. So it's going over 30 characters. So let's remove this and keep it here. Course for free. Let's say add save $1,000 because most of the people are selling the same course for over $1,000. If people watch my course, they'll be able to save a lot of money. Join our active community. We are also offering a paid membership for all the people who are very much serious into our course and they want to really level up their skill in digital marketing. They can also join our community. So this is again a value add because these are all the headlines that Google has automatically extracted from the website. So I'll remove the subscribe to our podcast because this is not really relevant. And here you can see the preview, learn digital marketing course for free, join our active community. Again, you have other variations, save $1,000, join our active community, learn digital marketing. So these are all the variations that Google has made depending on the headlines that you have selected. Obviously, you'll have to look at all the different competition and all the different websites that are running campaigns in your domain. Like for learn digital marketing, let's try for free. If I can find some good AdWord copies. So not many people. Grow with Google free online training with google.com. So similarly, I can also use SEMrush as I showed you earlier. I can also use SEMrush to find all the websites that are running campaigns for teaching digital marketing. And I can also get inspired from their headlines. So I will recommend you guys to keep multiple headlines and see which one is converting the best. So now comes the part of description. Here, as you can see, I have copied 3 different descriptions. No hidden fees, discount or membership to our private group of highly active learners. Learn from your home, get a job, blogging, paid ads, social media affiliate. This is more like a description of what they will get in the course that they are watching. Again, join thousands of others and learn the course worth $1,000 for free. Again, a very good value add for all the people who might be looking to learn digital marketing. So again, I have created multiple descriptions. You can add more descriptions if you want. As always, create multiple headlines. So if we have multiple headlines, multiple descriptions, we can also check the ad on the desktop and mobile. We can also see multiple variations of the ads, how these ads will look. You can also add multiple URL options. If you want to add some tracking suffix or ID, you can do that. Although we have already covered about ad strength and the ad recommendation, the headlines, the type of headlines you should write, the description that you should write. In the end, the ultimate goal is to add as much value as possible while being as clear as possible in the ads that you are showing.
Here you can see I'm promoting my digital marketing course. I am giving the best benefits of the course, like no hidden fees, discount on the membership, join thousands of others and save $1,000. Watching the course is free. So you can find all the different benefits that you are offering in your product and services and try to give those benefits in the ad copy. If you're offering a discount, if you have a product, then maybe you can offer a discount of 10% or 20%, or you can tell the benefits about your services or the product you're offering. Also take inspiration from all the different companies that are running campaigns in your niche using the tactics that I showed you earlier in the video. So once all this work is done, click on save and continue. You can see we encountered an error, and the error is that excessive capitalization isn't allowed in an ad text. So I think this is because of the free word. We have it in capital letters. So let's change it to free. Again, let's change this to free. Job. I think this will work fine now. So you can see how easy and intuitive Google is, because you have to understand once you create the ad, it will go into the review process and someone from Google will actually check your ad, review it manually and then approve it. If it's a new account, then it might take a couple of days as well. And if it's an old account, usually it gets done sometimes in a few hours. So let's try, click on save and continue. Let's see if everything is fixed. After fixing the campaign, you can see this is how the campaign will look like. Maximizing clicks, $100 per day. And it's search campaign, United States, targeting English. Because this campaign was for just for the teaching purpose. Otherwise, I would have added a lot of different ad extensions as well. You can see if I click on the fix it part, I can come here and add all the different extensions like site link extension, call out extension, structure snippet, call extension if I have a call number, lead form extensions if I'm generating leads in the form of email ID. So I can add all these extensions as well. So right now I'm not doing it. So click on save and continue. I can create multiple ads. I can click on plus here and create multiple ad sets. Usually I recommend to create at least 3 to 4 different ads in a single ad set. So click on save and continue and click on publish. Once you click on publish, you can see the error. Your account cannot show ads because to run the ads, you need to enter the billing information. I haven't yet added the billing information. So click on fix it. You can also go on settings and go to your billing section. You can add the billing details there as well. So here you have to select your country, your currency type and add your organization name and your card details and submit. Once that is done, your ads will go into the manual review process and someone will actually approve your ads. And once the ads are approved, the campaigns will start running and you'll see all the data here, like the number of clicks, the number of impressions, average CPC, the different ads, the targeting. All this data will be available in the dashboard. Now let's talk about negative keywords. This is again a very important area whenever you're running campaigns, especially search campaigns. So click on tools and click on negative keyword lists. So what are negative keywords? When the campaign will start running, you'll find some keywords that are not relevant to the product or the services you are offering. So like in my case, if I'm promoting my free digital marketing course, then someone might search for a keyword like digital marketing course Google. So if someone is searching on Google about digital marketing course Google, then the intent of the searcher is to learn digital marketing using the free Google course, because Google also has a digital marketing course. So the person who is searching for a query like this, they don't want to learn digital marketing from someone else. Rather, they are very specific about where they want to learn digital marketing from. So these kinds of keywords are not relevant to the course I'm promoting, because my course is freely available on YouTube. Such audience is not directly related to me. They are not my end audience. So for that, I can add a negative keyword. Here I can see FDMC being free digital marketing course, because I'll be creating multiple campaigns on Google about my FDMC course. So here I can add the keyword like digital marketing course Google, and I can add this keyword and click on save. So here I have created a new keyword list, FDMC being my free digital marketing course. And here you can see we have a negative keyword as digital marketing course Google in the broad match type. So if someone searches for digital marketing course, then I can apply this to campaign. I'll apply the campaign to FDMC search. And here I've applied this keyword to FDMC MF search. So if someone searches for digital marketing course Google for our FDMC campaign MF search, then they won't be shown my ad because this audience is not relevant to us. So similarly, whenever you're running your ads for any product or services, like again, take the case of acoustic guitar. If someone is searching for acoustic guitar by Amazon, and you're also selling acoustic guitar on your website, then this kind of customer is not relevant to you, because the intent here is to buy the acoustic guitar on Amazon.com. They won't be coming onto your website to buy the guitar on your e-commerce brand. So you should always put such kind of keywords in your negative list. Similarly, you can add Walmart, or someone is searching for a keyword like cheap acoustic guitar, because people who are searching for cheap acoustic guitar or maybe refurbished acoustic guitar, and if you have acoustic guitar in your broad match, then your ad will also be shown to all these keywords. So having a negative keyword list will really help you optimize your budget and not show your ads to the people who are not relevant to the product or services you are offering. And this will help you optimize your budget, save money, and again will give you a higher quality score on your ad. And this will definitely impact the entire campaign that you're running. So usually my team checks all the campaigns on a daily level and find the keywords that are not relevant to what we are offering and add those keywords in the negative keyword list. To find all the keywords people are searching for, all you have to do is go into the campaign that you are targeting, go to keywords, go to search keywords, and here you'll find all the keywords people are searching for, and for all the keywords where your ads are being shown, and here you can find all the keywords which are not relevant to you and add those keywords in the negative list, and again apply to all the campaigns that you want. Now, while you are adding negative keywords, you also have to consider whether to add them as a broad match, phrase match, or an exact match. So Google has a very comprehensive article on this about negative keywords, how they work. So here they have taken the query as running shoes. If you add the negative keyword here as running shoes, then it will be shown in blue tennis shoes, running shoes, but it won't be shown on blue running shoes, shoes running, and running shoes. But in phrase match, the shoes running, in the shoes running keyword, the ads will be shown because the order has changed. And similarly for the exact match keyword, only for running shoes, it will be added as a negative keyword, and for the rest of the queries, the ads will be shown. So you can read this article for more information. Now let's talk about conversions. Conversion is an extremely important part in Google Ads. If you're running any kind of product or services, or if you're driving traffic to a particular landing page, then you need to understand the user behavior. Let's say if you're driving 100 people to a landing page, then you need to know how many people actually entered their email ID or took the action that you want them to take. It could be buying something on the e-commerce store that you're promoting. It could be entering the email ID. It could be clicking on the telephone number, the number of calls you get on your customer care department. So these are all the different conversions events you can track on Google Ads. To go to the conversion area, click on tools and click on conversions. This page will open up, and here you'll find all the different conversions events you have. Click on plus icon to find a conversion event, and these are the different conversion events. You can go for an app or a phone call, or you can also import data. For the website conversion, you have multiple things that you can do: the online sales, link clicks, page view, signups. You can also check the question mark icon here to understand more. So let's say we are trying to get some data from the website visits. So conversion event, what kind of conversion event you would like to track? There are multiple events. You can track a purchase of a product you're selling on the website. If someone added the product on the cart but did not go through the purchase, you can also track that. This is again a very good CRO practice, CRO being conversion rate optimization, where you email all the people who added the product in a cart but did not go through the purchase. You can maybe send them a discount coupon, a 5% or 3% limited time discount. This again will increase the number of checkouts. So all the different conversion events you can find: contact, submit lead form, sign up, request a quote, all the different lead forms. So let's say if you're going for a purchase, someone actually purchased, or let's say if someone submitted the lead form, we are going for the submit lead form. And conversion name. So here add the conversion name along with the funnel that you are promoting. So here I am doing MF, which is marketer's feed, email newsletter, which is EN, and submit lead form. Measure the impact on your advertising by giving conversion a value. If you're selling something, then you can also understand the value that you will get if someone purchases something. Let's say you're promoting a single thing, or let's say if the value of a phone call in your company is around $20, then you can add the value here. You can use the same value for each conversion, use a different value for each conversion. That depends on the business you're running. I'll select here, don't use a value for conversion action right now. How many conversions to count per click or iteration? This again depends on the product or service you are offering. If someone does multiple conversions on your website, then they will count as separate conversion. But if you want them to count as one, you can select one or every. I'll keep it to one right now. Click-through conversion window is again important. So let's say if someone clicks on your ad and they end up purchasing the product or whatever conversion event you have set up on the 25th day, not on the time when he or she actually clicked the ad. So this 30-day window will allow you to track the conversion even if the person converts within those 30 days after clicking the ad. It could be on 5th day, it could be on 10th day, but it should be under 30 days. You can also decrease this or increase this to 1 week or 2 week or even go to 90 days. I'll keep it to 30 days. View through conversion window, keep it to 1 day. Include in conversion, again, keep it checked. Attribution model, there are multiple attribution models. You can go for last click, first click, linear, time delay. There are multiple attribution model. To keep things simple, we'll select last click. Click on create and continue. So here you'll have to add the conversion pixel to your website. So there are multiple ways. If you are not the developer of your company, you can email the tag to the developer who is actually handling the website development. Or if you are doing it yourself, and if you're using Google Tag Manager, which is again something that I highly recommend for any business who has multiple different softwares connected. If you're not using Google Tag Manager, you can click here. Install the tag yourself. See, first of all, you'll have to add the global site tag installed on all the HTML pages. So you have to copy this tag and add it to the entire website. So like for my case, my website is marketersfeed.com. I'll go to Thrive dashboard and click on Thrive dashboard. I have used Thrive themes to build this website, marketersfeed.com. If you don't know what Thrive is, then I will recommend you guys to watch our free blogging course or free affiliate marketing course, where I have shown you how to create a website like mine from start to finish. So scroll down, click on analytics and script. This is the settings area for this theme. And here I'll click on add new. I'll paste the code. I'll placement as before head. And this is not Google Analytics. This is global site tag. And I'll keep it before head, and I'll make sure that it is available throughout the website. So both on Thrive themes and landing pages, I'll click on continue. Once this is done, I will be deleting this global site tag because I already have Google Analytics installed on my website, because Google Analytics also comes with a global site tag. But if you don't have already Google Analytics on your website, then you have to add the global site tag. So I already have the global site tag installed on my website. Now comes the event snippet. Here is the event snippet. The event snippet could be on page load. So let's say I have a newsletter on my website. This newsletter is free, and I want to track all the people who click on the ad, add their email ID, and go on to the thank you page for the newsletter. So I should be adding this event pixel on the thank you page to track it as a conversion. So I'll go to that page and add that custom script only on that particular page. So I'll go to the pages section. The thank you page on my website for all the people who will be adding their email ID here and clicking on subscribe. In Thrive Architect, all you have to do is click on settings, click on advanced settings. Then all I have to do is copy this code, this event code, onto my page, the thank you page of this website. The thank you page that will come after someone enters their email ID here. And if someone enters their email ID, once they load this page, then this event will trigger and it will count as a conversion. So I'll click on next, and it might take a few hours to verify the tags, and click on done. Here I have added the tags, marketers feed, email newsletter, submit lead form. And this way I'll be able to track all the conversion that will happen on my newsletter. As always, like the video and subscribe to our channel, because these two steps alone give us the biggest motivation to launch many more courses in the future. I hope you loved the video. Do you want courses worth over $1,000? Then click here to watch our free digital marketing mastery course playlist, and click here to watch our free affiliate marketing mastery course playlist.